Hey guys, and welcome to the set. Today we have a very exciting episode for you. We are going to be getting to know more about Tuts Kitchen. And I know you guys may be asking, well, what is that? Stay tuned to find out more. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, tell the people, who are you?
What's your name?
My name's
And I'm Tiffany, the owner of Tuts Kitchen. Isaiah is my godson for the last 16 years. But go ahead.
Yes, so I want to find out, the people are wondering, who is this mother-son duo? So tell us more. How did this come about? Where did Tiffany and Isaiah start?
So let's say, I think about 17 years ago, I met Isaiah's aunt, which is she was actually my sister's troop in the Air Force. I was in school, I was coming back home, decided to leave college, and I went back home. My sister said, I have a troop that has a baby, needs a babysitter. So I said, okay, I'll go home, have no job yet, I'll just watch him. And this was actually Isaiah's cousin, his older cousin, Brandon. So when I got there, he was about 2.5, 3 months old. Started watching him, and his aunt actually had custody of Isaiah's mom, which was probably like 13 or 14 at the time. Things happened, life happened, and she ended up getting pregnant with Isaiah. So she was 15, and at this point, I believe Brandon was maybe like 6 months or something. So I was babysitting him, but then also preparing for him to come. So when Isaiah was born, she was in a hospital, and his aunt asked her who was going to be the godmom. At this point, I already had one goddaughter. Her name is Liana, so I was kind of known to everybody to be the godmother of all the new kids coming in this world. So she asked her, who's going to be the godmom? And she was like naming some random friends from high school, and then she goes, no, you need to get somebody like Tip. And she just looked at me, in which I was holding him at the time. He was probably a few hours old, and she asked me if I would be his godmom, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we haven't turned back then since. It's been amazing.
At what point did this transition take place? You met Isaiah's mom,
Mm-hmm.
You met her in the hospital with Isaiah just a few hours old. At what point did the transition from his mom to you actually happen, and how did that happen?
So for the first 3 years, well, I knew it already, but for the first 3 years, he pretty much lived with me off and on, as she continued school. And then their whole entire family relocated back to Columbus, Georgia / Phoenix City, Alabama. And of course, I'm like, oh my God, my baby's leaving or whatever. But that actually gave me room to move to Tampa. So I moved from Fort Walton Beach to Tampa. And I think after the first like 6 or 7 months, Isaiah started visiting me in the summer. So he's like maybe like 5 at this point. He started visiting me for the summers. It was almost like a getaway for him. So every summer he would come visit, and every time it was time to go back, he was always like, I want to stay, because in his mind, I want to be on vacation all the time in Florida. But, he would always go back, stay with his mom for the school year. And then it came to 5th grade, things got a little rough for his family, for his mom, trying to take care of her and him. So I asked her, would you like for me to keep him full time? And she said yes. And I said, okay, I'll just, I'll give you a little time to get yourself, in order, whatever. I asked her 3 times, was she ready? And she still wasn't, which was okay with me, because I knew he was being taken care of, and I knew she was focusing on her. And at that point, 6 months turned into now going on, was it the 5th year? 5th year, 5th grade. Now he's going to the 11th. So he was 11 when he got here, and now he's 16.
No, it's been like 6 years.
Ooh. In your head, huh? It feels like 18 to me, but it's cool. But anyway.
I'm not even that old.
So Isaiah, I want to hear from you. How has the transition from living with mom to living with Tiff, how has that been for you?
To be honest, it's kind of the same. Like I still get to see. One thing I like a lot is that I still get to see my family a lot. I go visit them at least 5 times a year. And so it's been, at first it was kind of hard because I wasn't used to living with somebody else. But then over time I got used to it. And then I was fine.
Listen, I remember one time he told me, I thought it was like vacation living with you. This isn't like vacation anymore.
Yeah, because it used to be, it's different from like coming just for the summer than staying here for like years and during school too, versus then not having to go to school. A lot of different things, priorities. Oh yeah.
Right, it's real life now. Okay.
Instead of just playing all the time.
So, as far as Tuts Kitchen, how do you two, as now a family unit, how do you kind of function in that together?
Barely. No, just kidding. The funny thing is Isaiah has a lot of training from school when it comes to culinary, but he rarely likes to use it with Tuts Kitchen. So I try to let him sometimes, he'll give me ideas, honestly, like you should do this or you should do that. But he want me to try it. He don't want me to do the work. But I tell him all the time, one of the biggest things for me pushing Tuts Kitchen is that I wanted to leave a legacy. And because he's my child, is my only one, I'm like, I have to have something to leave him. If everything else in his life failed, I need something for him to have and carry on. Of course, it's in my mom's honor, but he will be the next to take over and, and go on. So for him, it's like I try to teach him a lot, but it is very difficult to get him to work with me because he wants to just run it. But right now, you can't do that. Yeah, and my other godson too, he's the one that's like the manager, Brandon. He wants, it's not even that he wants, it's like a natural gift almost, like for him to come in and clean and cook and, make sure things in order, put stuff in order. Isaiah's more of a behind the scenes type of kid. Like he'll clean up if I ask him to, he'll chop up stuff, you know what I mean? It's been really cool to do that, especially, with that last event we did, he was a lot of help. He took orders and, and now he works at McDonald's, so he's really getting some experience in food. So you can't act like you don't know how to do it anymore.
I'm not how to cook.
You don't want to.
I'd rather you cook.
You see? And that's cool because that's the point. You want to come get the chef's cooking, but I need to be able to teach him the same recipes and you can duplicate.
I can make it better.
Okay, that's what I like to hear though. You think he hurting me? No, that's what I want.
Now, Isaiah, another question for you. Speaking of cooking, you mentioned that you were going to make a homemade apple pie.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's start with that.
Okay, so I'll make it. Cause I've been working a lot, so I've been busy, and then my days off, I've been kind of like resting.
Just tell him to put in an order. You got
yeah, you got to put in
invoice.
And if you like it, you can shout me out and I'll start making it.
That's funny.
Like $20 apple pies. It'd be busting those.
So you doing this for clout?
Hey, I'm here
clout,
for it.
Like, a sponsor.
So where did you learn how to do a cake? I mean, a pie. I'm curious.
Culinary, and then
okay.
Actually, the recipe was like homemade and everything, so I made it myself. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's good.
Okay, I can't wait to taste it.
It's good.
Here. Like I have
and whipped cream, and we made homemade whipped cream too. It's so good.
Okay.
It got me excited.
I can't wait to try this homemade apple pie and whipped cream. Now, speaking of Tuts Kitchen, where did this name Tuts come from?
So, Tuts is actually my mom's nickname. A lot of people may or may not know my mom passed away in 2006 to pancreatic cancer. And my mom got the nickname from a cousin that could not say her other nickname, which was Sister. And he used to be like, Tutter, Tutter. So everybody was like, why does he call you that? Then Tut, they just cut it short, made it Tut, and that stuck for literally generations. So all her sisters either call her sister or they call her Tut, one or the other. So of course, I wanted to do this business in honor of her because she's the reason why I cook. A lot of the things that I cook are because that's what she used to cook for us, and that was soul food to me. So Tuts Kitchen is her kitchen, and then the other part of it is she used to always say stay out of her kitchen. So I say the same thing now too when I cook. When I'm in there, I don't want nobody in there bothering me, so stay out of Tuts Kitchen. That's pretty much where that came from. Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. I'm sure your mom is very proud
I hope so.
of having Tuts Kitchen in her honor. How long has Tuts Kitchen been established?
It's been established since 2000. You about to make me lie. I believe 18. I usually say the numbers, but I believe it's 2018. It started around April. I just remember having like these random thoughts that just kept coming to me because I had no clue I would be doing this about cooking and cooking for people. I was doing it already, but not in a sense of business. Did you say I'm old?
No, you're old. You're old. 3P Ministries. 3P
Ministries is another part we got to get to, but we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so lost my train of thought. I kept having these random thoughts about cooking for people more often and restaurant, and I was just like, where is this coming from? You know, it's probably not that far-fetched because of the fact that I've worked in restaurants since I was 16 years old. And I started watching, funny enough, out of nowhere, I binged watched Sweetie Pies, the show. Out of nowhere. I just literally looked it up. I mean, I know where I was getting it from God, obviously, but binge watched the whole entire series, and I was learning so much of do's and don'ts of a restaurant. And I binge watched it, and after that I was like, I think I'm supposed to be doing a restaurant or something. And then I just started walking it out after that, and did my first outside catering. Like I set up a whole like outside cart situation at this insurance company. Me and my godson Brandon and my niece did it, and pretty much made breakfast fresh for everybody. It was the coolest experience. I was so happy. My friend Shayna, shout out, gave me the opportunity. Her boss at the time gave me the opportunity to do that, and it kind of opened up my eyes of, okay, I see where this is going. And then of course started catering for people, and you know, doing meals for people every day at home, and just you know, building towards this food truck is the next step. And pause.
Awesome. Now I want to get back to the whole family dynamic between you and Isaiah.
Let's do that.
Now Isaiah is your godson. Do you have any biological children of your own?
I don't have any biological kids yet. Anybody you meet that knows me or him will say, I don't know why you say that, because Isaiah is your son, period, point blank. Like, and it's so funny because we share a whole lot of similarities, and we share no blood except the blood of Jesus. So that's really interesting in itself. And sometimes I look at him and be like, oh my God, he acts so much like me, this doesn't make any sense. But I don't know if it's just because he's been around me all his life or what. But no biological kids yet. I've always said I wanted to wait to marriage, and marriage has not found me, or I just been running from it, one or the other. But that's just that on that.
So Isaiah, you're 16 now. You're about to be a junior in high school?
Yep.
Okay, so you are 2 more years left in high school. What do you have planned next for after high school?
I have either football or what I was going to call it. I haven't. So yeah, that's how it goes. So if I don't get any scholarships, I probably would go to school for culinary, so I can get that, and then probably be a chef.
And how long have you been cooking?
I've been cooking for actually cooking. I said for 2 years. Ever since I started high school, I wanted to start getting into cooking.
Okay. Has Tuts Kitchen had any influence on you wanting to become a cook?
Yeah, definitely. Because I saw her cooking. I like how it tastes, but I want to be able to do that for myself when she's not always around. So.
Sounds like a great quality to have
And
as a young man.
You know what's really funny? When I got into high school, that's the first class I went. It was culinary.
Same. I wanted that class, but they didn't.
See?
I couldn't do it.
My kid. You feel me? And listen, I just watched this crazy video the other day about the reenactment of how principals act when they come into the classroom and they know y'all cooking something.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
I used to love that. The teachers coming in, what y'all cooking? Girl, you want some cookies? Because I thought I was a mom. Like, it's so weird how I think about the process of how I've been pushed into this from early childhood and not even noticing it. Like, all the culinary stuff, all the little things from measuring cups to, it's like I was being prepared for this moment. Had no idea. And then now it's happening to him, and he's thinking it's just because he see me doing it, but it's actually helping him to help me in the long run. So that's awesome. Now that I sit here and think about it, that's crazy. These similarities are weird. Don't mind us. He's just like, touching me, as you can see. But go ahead.
I love
that was
it.
so good.
Now, before we do wrap up this interview, I know we've been asking, a lot of questions, but I want to give you guys the opportunity to just let the people know a random fact or, something that pertains to you. Give the people something.
You go first.
I'm talking a lot of talking. Tell something that you like to do outside of cooking and football.
I like to draw. I haven't really had time to draw as much, but I used to draw a lot. I'm super good at that. And what else? I play video games. I also have a YouTube channel. Can I put that in?
Go ahead.
My YouTube channel is playz with a Z. But I live stream on there. I just started back live streaming because I've been busy, but now I live stream when I'm not. And then so I've been playing video games for like, I say 4 years. 4 or 5. Yeah. I used to play a lot, but since school started, high school, I hadn't had as much time and I had to focus more on football and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what you been so busy doing? What you been busy doing?
I was training. I've been doing a lot of training this past, this whole summer I've been training, consistently, whenever I am available.
Yeah, so if you NFL recruiters, high school, college, whatever, call us. The link is in the bio. And the phone number is too. As for me, I love to travel. That's my fun fact. And a lot of people that know me know that it's actually been a lot. It's been a sense of therapy for me for the last year. It's just to go see new places and explore and unwind and just be where I am and not think about what I have to deal with back home. But then, I'll say this transition plug here. The next steps of Tuts Kitchen, we are raising money, saving money to get this food cart. We have a goal we have to reach in order to even get them to build the food cart, start this process. And when they start the process, it takes 4 to 5 months for them to complete it. This is the next goal for us to be in a location more, for one, professionally, and second, just to be stationary so people can actually find us on a daily basis, because eventually we're going to get this restaurant, and then after that we're going to get everything else that ties into what he brought up earlier, which was 3P Ministries. Is my ministry where we are going to be helping the homeless, the elders, and the youth of this generation, helping them in every way, shape, or form. We want a homeless shelter. We want to be able to feed them when they're sick. We want to be able to check on the old when they are alone, all that good stuff. So Tuts Kitchen is not just, I have a dream to have a restaurant. No, it's going to be something that's going to help those that can't help themselves. So if you feel in your heart to sow, just go ahead and, that link that you see right there, click on that and bless us. But that's really what I got for now.
Well, Tiffany, Isaiah, thank you guys so much for just letting us get a little more, see a little more into your lives, into Tuts Kitchen, into football and culinary, and we definitely want to know what happens next with Tuts Kitchen. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As she said, if you would like to support Tuts Kitchen in the next steps on her journey, please click the link in the bio. And if you enjoyed this interview today, give it a thumbs up, a heart, and please definitely share. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we are tuning out.